All right, well, thank you so much, Marion, for stopping by our office to do this interview with us. First question for you, what's motivating you to run for this seat on the county board?
Well, Sarah, thank you, of course, for having me here. No elected body of government has more impact on the social safety net and the opportunity gaps that are plaguing our community than the county board. And that is really at the heart of why I'm running. I want to increase opportunity for everyone and particularly address those gaps.
Okay, and so that leads into the next question. Can you talk kind of specifically, what your top priorities would be and how you would, address those gaps?
Yes. There are a couple things that are about approach and then some issue-specific items. First of all, I'd like to see more connection between the community and the county. I'm impressed that for a politically activated district like this one, how many people don't know what the county's up to, and the county's doing great and important work. How can we bring that honestly progressive point of view to bear in a greater way at the county? And that's by more communication and collaboration between community and county. I'd also like to see the county making more decisions in an interdisciplinary way. We have some really complex problems that we need to wrestle with. There's a reason why we haven't found the solution for some of these tough things. And I think for complex problems, we need complex solutions, and those are going to be interdisciplinary. That's a great segue to kind of the first issue that I want to get to work on, which is early childhood. We're all in violent agreement that every dollar spent in early childhood really pays out later. And the solution is going to need to be complex. It's about housing, it's about transit, it's about jobs, livable wage jobs for kids' families. Anything that we can do to support and stabilize kids in their youngest years so they arrive at school ready to learn. And then I'm very interested in healthcare. My career before I was a legislator was in healthcare finance, and I'm very interested in the well-being of Hennepin's healthcare system. I know that that's been identified as a priority for the board as well, because the healthcare system is losing money, and we want to strengthen that system and make sure that it continues to exist, not just for our community, but for the whole state.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the other kind of biggest challenges facing the county, in your opinion?
Well, I think in the very immediate term, we have Southwest Light Rail that is a source of frustration for probably everybody in this district. People will have different points of view on what's frustrating them, but this is an issue that we need to move forward on and we need to figure out. And then I mentioned the financial stability and sustainability of the healthcare system. Mm-hmm. I know that the board is wrestling with that very immediately.
All right. What unique assets would you bring to the job as commissioner, kind of compared to the other candidates in the field?
Yes. Well, I'd start off with experience. First of all, I'm a former legislator, and that work, the job of managing the ideas and points of view, the kind of complexity and breadth of the issues that you grapple with as a legislator. Additionally, the interjurisdictional collaboration, the need to work with other levels of government. I think that experience will really inform me and sets me apart from some of the other candidates. I also have a background in healthcare finance. I have an MBA, and I have a really strong progressive bent paired with that. So I'm very interested in bringing that kind of financial expertise and the progressive point of view together at the county.
All right. Going back to the light rail issue, the City Council, the Minneapolis City Council, approved a resolution last week opposing co-location and a shallow tunnel option for Southwest Light Rail in the Kenilworth corridor. What's your take on that?
My take on that is that it's part of the dance. There is, as part of negotiation and finding resolution on really tough challenges like this, there's a kind of ritual that needs to unfold with the city councils, probably for every community along the path of the light rail, including Minneapolis, including St. Louis Park. I don't view that as the door is closed. I view that as part of what the city council needs to do to kind of voice what they're thinking right now. Mm-hmm. But the dialogue will continue, and of course I look forward to that.
Okay. Can you talk about some of your other transportation ideas or policies that you would advocate if you were elected?
Yes, absolutely. I guess principally, and Southwest Light Rail is relevant to this point, I'd like to see us have a multimodal, sophisticated transit system for our area with, more than one line built every 10 years. That includes light rail, but it also includes bus rapid transit, bus. It includes a complete streets initiative, which I'm really happy to see going on in our area, and more pedestrian and biking support. When I look at things like the intersection at Lake and Hiawatha, where there's a light rail stop now, I'd like to see the transit-oriented development working for us more. We're not quite seeing, I think, what we'd want to see at all of our light rail stops. So I look at that, and when I think of Southwest Light Rail, I'd like to kind of make sure that we get transit-oriented development right and operating on all cylinders, not just for Southwest Light Rail, but for the existing lines as well.
Okay. Now, former Commissioner Dorfman was really, lauded for all the work she's done on behalf of people experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
Can you talk about how you kind of would carry on, that work, or what ideas you have to deal with the homelessness problem in the county?
I'm so glad you asked. I mean, Commissioner Dorfman has done amazing work and really nation-leading work on this issue, and I would absolutely look forward to continuing that. She's become an expert on the issue, and she also knows where the money is. And I would absolutely want to continue that work and look forward to that. When I think about homelessness and housing issues, I think actually of a program that's going on at the Hennepin County Medical Center, where they're taking kind of frequent flyers in the emergency room and pairing them with social services. And that's a model that's also been used in housing and low-income housing environments, where people who need housing are also paired with attendant social services, whether it's healthcare, whether it's job training, all of that kind of support. And I like that kind of wraparound model, and again, interdisciplinary thinking to address this really tough issue that we are making progress on and want to bring over the finish line if we possibly can.
Okay. And when you start out this interview talking again about the top priority be focusing on the racial disparities, the gaps, obviously that was a top issue in the recent mayoral race and among the council candidates. Anything else that you want to add in terms of, if you were elected commissioner, how you would work with other leaders in the area to focus on reducing and eliminating the disparities? Absolutely. First of all, I'm really glad that was kind of issue number one in the recent mayoral election. I'm really happy that our city is committed to focusing on this issue, and at the county, in me, they will find a very strong partner on this issue. I mentioned that early childhood is an area of focus for me, and I really think that that's an entry point for addressing this issue. I also think healthcare is. Healthcare disparities go kind of hand in hand with economic disparities. So how can we figure out programming that reaches everybody, not just kind of a one-size-fits-all? And again, that connects to the interdisciplinary piece. I also have heard in the community and observed that the county has a hard time, I think maybe because of its size, connecting with communities past kind of the first layer of leadership. And I think that's also a space where the county could partner more effectively with underrepresented communities and really develop solutions that serve each community in the right way. Okay. Can you think of any specific examples kind of related to that?
Well, I know that we mentioned the light rail stop at Lake and Hiawatha. I think that has been a source of some struggle, and I shouldn't say struggle, I don't want to describe conflict, but it's been an area where the partnership with the community could be strengthened and furthered.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Marion. Is there anything else that you want to add or say about your campaign?
Just that I'm really excited to serve our community in this way. We're running a fantastic campaign, very grassroots, and I'd love to have your support if you are watching this video.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.